Let's try to solve Leetcode problem 119, Pascal's triangle 2. So for this problem, it is similar to Pascal's triangle 1. The only difference is that we are just giving a row index. So for example, if row index equal to 3, this means we are calculating the row number 4. So this is row index 0. Let me just make a drawing. So this is index 0, 1, 2, and 3. And here going to be result. It's going to be 1, 3, 3, and 1. Of course, we can use some extra space to solve the problem. But how can we solve it? Optimize the algorithm to use only all row index extra space. So this means for row index 3, we are only allowed to use the extra space with only one array instead of n arrays. Yeah. So we need to solve the problem in ON space time. We need to solve the problem in ON space instead of ON square. Yeah. But how can we solve it? So the idea is that we're gonna define a global variable, and this global variable will only be running for one time. So for example, we also have a nested array, and inside its subarray, we're gonna calculate. This is the index 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So we're gonna calculate it at one time for just running the program. And after that, if we were to calculate the row index 1, we can get it directly from here. If we are going to calculate row index 3, we can directly get it from here. So this means for one time of running the class, it is actually using ON square space. But after that, for its running of the row index, it is only takes the ON space. So this is why the time space complexity is going to be ON. Yeah. So N is basically the row index. But how can we prepare that? So first of all, let's just define a global variable. So this is gonna just run one time. So we're gonna prepare a static function. This means this method will only run one time. Even though there are many testing cases, maybe 33, but for this static method, it will only run for one time. So I'm gonna prepare a list of integers, and it's gonna be an array of a list of integers. So this is the definition of the nested array. If we define it like this, basically this means we can use the index directly. So we're gonna define it as a result. So it's gonna be a new list with 34 slot, because the row index is from 0 to 33, so it means it's gonna have 34 slot, and inside it's gonna be the subarray. And from this, we can return the result immediately from the result with row index. Yeah. But how can we prepare on this result nested array, nested list? We're gonna use another static. We're gonna call it a static method in Java. But if we use a static, this means inside the block, all the code will run just one time. Even we use the example testing cases many times, but inside this code, it's gonna run for one time, and for this code block, it's gonna just run one time. But here, it's gonna run many times. For example, it may be 33 times or 34 times. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Now, inside the static method, we're gonna write some code to finish. Just to finish all the subarrays or all the rows we're gonna prepare and put it inside the result nested array, nested list. So first of all, result 0, this means for the first row it's gonna be result 0, so it's gonna be a list of 1. Now we're gonna use a for loop. So this is gonna be similar like Pascal's triangle 1. So here we're gonna use a result.length and I++. And inside we need to prepare a variable. I'm gonna call it a row. So list of integers. It's gonna be the row. So this row is this is the row index 0, and now I'm gonna start from the row index 1, 2, etc. So row gonna be a new array list. So it's gonna add a 1. So this is for the row index 1. Yeah, so this is the just the basic structure. So after the for loop, we need to put it inside the result array. So the result I gonna equal to this row. Yeah. But this is only for row index 0 and 1. What about row index 2? We're gonna use a nested for loop to calculate it. So we're gonna start from j equal to 1 and j less than I and j plus plus. So we need to update the row. So this row we can use the method add. Yeah. So what's gonna be the previous row? It's gonna be the result with I equal to 1. It's gonna be I minus 1. Yeah. And we need to get the j minus 1 plus result I minus 1 dot get and j. So this is for calculating. So for example, for this row index 2, so this one is coming from here, we're gonna add a 1. This one is coming from here, we're gonna add a 1. But what is something in between? How to calculate this number on 2? It's gonna be this one plus this one. So this is why from here we're gonna start the index j for 1, because this I equal to 2, and we're gonna run the for loop. It's gonna be the previous rows and get j minus 1. It's gonna be 0 plus 1. This is the index 0. This is the index 1. Yeah. Now let me just run it to check if everything's okay. Yeah, as you can see, it works. Now let me just submit it to check if it can pass for all testing cases. Yeah, as you can see, it passed for all testing cases and it's pretty fast. And this just meets the condition. We only use the row index actual space. Yeah, because we can ignore this one and this one. The private static final method gonna just run one time. Even we are using so many testing cases, but it will just run one time. So after the class initialization, it will run this one and this one. And for the first testing case, it will get the result. But after that, if we are test the next one, we will not run those two methods again, because those ones are global method. It's gonna just run one time. We just run this one and we can get the result immediately. So this is why it is so fast, and it just meets the condition. We only use the row index actual space. I think that's all about it. Thanks for watching.